What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming with the Broscast, episode 175, another quarter milestone. So that's pretty awesome. We apologize for being off last week, but Nick, you've been on vacation and some other stuff. So
yeah, our dad stayed with.
yeah, vacation. Yeah, that's right. Dad was staying with you last week. But yeah, we're back. It sucks that we absolutely predicted and nailed the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Direct, and then couldn't talk about the next week. But it is what it is. We'll talk briefly about it, in a little bit, just to get our thoughts out there. But yeah, how's your week been?
It's been good. We kind of like, well, we've known we were coming down to Florida for a few weeks, but just decided a few days before we left to come down.
Yeah.
Left on Saturday, and it was supposed to be like a 9-hour and 45-minute drive, but it turned into a 12-hour, 13-hour drive with all the stops and all the traffic.
Yeah.
Just everybody going down to Florida for the 4th of July weekend. So we picked the best time to do it. But
absolutely.
I mean, it was partially our fault. Like we were planning on leaving like way earlier than we did, but we ended up staying up pretty late playing Stardew Valley the night before.
That'll do it.
So we got it.
I need to. I know you'll talk about it here in a second, but I need to get Brittany into it since it's got the co-op.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Okay, because I've never played co-op before with it. I mean, I love the base game. Like it's so much fun. I mean, I haven't played in years.
It's good. Yeah, it's like split screen, or you can play with 2 switches too. Like there's a bunch of ways to do it.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so we drove down Saturday and been hanging out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Florida's always a fun time. Is it hot down there?
Oh my God. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot here. It's like 90 something. Just like as soon as you walk out, it's just drenched. But
just it's humid. I think that's the main thing.
Super humid.
Yeah.
Cool.
How you been? How's your weekend?
Doing good. Just another relatively easy week. Brittany's garden produced for the first time this year. We got some squash, some peppers, jalapenos. So we cooked some of that up this weekend.
Nice.
So that's awesome. She's put a lot of really hard work into her garden. She's got like an automated sprinkler system in there that like
it looks great.
Yeah, it took her a while to get like the sprinkler itself set up, like all the little tubing and stuff. And then she got like a timer that connects to the spigot, I guess, lack of a better word. And then it's got a filter in there and it's got a pump. So you just turn the water on, and then at certain times of the day it'll go off. So it's super cool.
Okay.
So that's been awesome to watch that, and yeah, just hanging out a lot outside because it's nice, but it's super hot. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's been a good week. Glad to be back doing the podcast here.
Nice, and we'll be together at the beach next week.
Yeah. We might be able to work something up. Doing like a little podcast or something. I don't know what we can do, because I can always bring microphones and stuff, but
yeah,
we'll see. I'll bring it just in case.
But, yeah, I mean, it's the summer. People take a lot of breaks during the summer.
Yeah,
understandably. So if anyone's upset with us, please understand.
Yeah, we're good. I'll say we'll probably won't have one next week, but the following week we'll have our big Zelda blowout where we're gonna just talk about every little kind of detail we loved and didn't love about the game, and it'll be like the last send off for Zelda, because I do miss it. I haven't played it in like 2 weeks, and I miss it.
Yeah,
and it feels weird, but
it'll be good to come back to it with like, or mentally come back to it with fresh eyes and think about what we didn't like, what we liked, our favorite moments, that kind of stuff, and we'll be very prepared. Yeah.
Hopefully we get some DLC. I really want some good.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
In the direct when they brought up the amiibo, but.
Well, you wanna dive into what we've been playing?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Cool. Well, we both played Pikmin 4. How have you, as someone who you have you played more Pikmin than I have, or are we about the
I don't know
same?
because I fully played through Pikmin 3
Okay.
on the Wii U, but I don't think I had played any Pikmins before that. Maybe I watched you play the first one, but I really didn't have much experience with it outside of Pikmin 3.
Yeah, and I must have rented it from Blockbuster back in the day because I never
Mhm.
actually finished it. At least I don't remember it. But I remember having fun with it. But
Yeah, yeah, and then of course uh, they dropped Pikmin 1 and 2 during the direct, and I picked
yeah,
up Pikmin 2 and I've been playing through that, and that one's super fun. I feel like I'm really bad at it. Like
really?
I guess just to dive into Pikmin 2 real quick.
Yeah.
Kind of like the hook of this game particularly is they have like the underground subterranean levels, and that's kind of the main like meat of the game. Like of course you have like your overworld stuff and your
Is it a lot
collecting
like
stuff.
how 4 is with their subterranean stuff?
I would say it leans more into that than 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to an extent the subterranean levels are like um what is it called? But not AI generated, but
Like procedurally.
yeah, procedurally generated to an
So okay,
extent.
so this is not the subterranean stuff is not new to 4 then. So this has been the franchise. Was this in 3 as well?
No, I think it was just in 2.
Just in 2. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
that was kind of like the main hook of 2, and like when you went underground, the time above ground kind of stops, so you can really
Right.
take your time down there. But you'll
That's how 4
go
is.
down like 9 levels of subterranean
Oh
floor,
wow. Okay.
whereas in Pikmin 4, from what we've played, it's like 1 or 2 floors.
I'm sure it'll be more. I think the one that I went to was 2. Um
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit annoyed but with how with I mean, I love the fact that they're shadow dropping this stuff, but as someone who loves like physical stuff, it's like a little
Yeah,
annoying
it's so
having to
late.
wait like 2 months, especially in this like a Metro was like 2 weeks, so that wasn't too bad. But with
Hmm.
this, it's like I thought it would make more sense to put it out before 4, but then I don't know because I would want to play through 1 and 2, but also I don't want to get burnt out with Pikmin
Yeah,
because they're not, from what I understand, they're not super different. But
yeah.
I do want to
I
play
will
through
say
3 before,
3. I would really recommend playing through. You know,
and it's co-op
in
too.
comparison to the rest of them. Yeah, and like that's what I wish 4 was fully co-op throughout.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with that. That it's just like the Nintendo's like, oh, your little brother co-op, where they're not
Yeah,
really doing
it's a
anything.
little bit co-op.
That's yeah. I don't know why they did that because three's from the even the demo had co-op and it was really fun. So yeah, I don't know why they didn't do it that route.
Yeah, and like granted, there were multiple characters in 3 that you were controlling
Yeah,
when you were playing by yourself, but like you could have someone control Ochi. You know, it could be something as simple as that, or just having 2 characters because
yeah,
it's a creative character. Like, why not just have 2 there? But
yeah. That's weird, but oh well.
yeah, I mean, I'd really recommend playing through 3 because that
Okay.
one,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pick that one up.
yeah,
I might pick it up for the beach or something. Play that with Kellen. I think that'd be fun.
yeah, I bet Brittany would love it too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a little bit stressful, but I feel like with 2 people,
Well, she loves we actually played it the other night because Kellen's spent the night with mom and dad for like 4 days in a row because they had
yeah,
the swim lessons or whatever.
this one,
But we played Overcooked for a night.
oh my,
Dude, that game is like so stressful. Like
yeah,
we were all getting
unbelievably
like a little bit
stressful.
annoyed because Kaylee was being all giggly and stuff. We're like, no, like you've got to do this. I've got to do this. She's got to do this. And then we gotta. It's like it's a kitchen. We got to make
You,
this thing roll.
yeah, you need to have your role.
Yeah,
I remember because we played it with Kaylee
yeah.
and
And
Brittany at
it's
the
it's a
beach.
bit
That was
easier
super
when you
fun.
have like 4 people playing versus 2 or 3, but still, it can be very, very hectic. And yeah,
Oh, we should play that again
we should
next
play
week.
it. Yeah, we should play it. That'd be fun. I want to
Oh,
try Moving Out as well. I never actually played that one.
yeah, is that the same
Same
developers?
developer, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to try that one too. It's fun. I love like multiplayer party games.
Yeah.
Just like like everybody wants to switch. Like, of course, it's not the best game, but
You know,
it's gonna give you a good time.
I was really we'll talk about it in a second, but I was very surprised with how quality it is versus the first one. I feel like it's
Yeah,
much better because like the first one is just an assortment of mini games, right? Really, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You just play, and this one it actually
yeah.
condenses it down into like a party mode.
It's almost like a Jackbox.
Yeah, like a Jackbox kind of thing.
Mm.
I feel like it's much, and it's budget. It's $30. I feel like it's way better than 1-2 Switch.
I'll have to play more. I only played like 1 20-minute rounds,
Oh,
and
okay.
like we played like the hide and seek one and
That, it's
the
gimmicky, but
musical
it's
chairs
still like
one.
Helen loved. That's his favorite one. He loves it.
I
The hide and seek.
I knew it would be.
Yeah. And we haven't played. We've only played a couple of the 20-minute rounds, so we haven't dove deeper into like the longer ones. So we haven't played every single mini game there is. But I mean, for the ones they are, I mean, like the balloon thing is fun. Like don't try to pop the balloon or whatever.
Oh
Get
yeah,
as
that was pretty good.
big as you can. Um, the musical chairs is kind of that one's kind
You
of
need more
like,
people.
yeah, you just need more people. And again, like, yeah, just having more people, I think. Because I've only played with just me and Kellen, or Brittany played with Kellen, so we haven't done like multiple groups of people.
Mhm.
And the fact that you can use your phone too just makes way more
Yeah,
sense.
makes it a
I
lot
mean,
easier.
like, oh, you could have 100 people. You know, I was like, I don't know 100 people, but that's cool that that's there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it's cool as possible.
and can you play like, because with like Jackbox, like technically you could stream it and people could watch you down, scan the QR code or do that, and then they could play. Can you do that with this one as well?
I'm not sure. I maybe for a selection of the games because
Yeah.
for some of them, I guess yeah, I guess for some of them you need to be in the same room, like the hide and seek
Yeah,
one.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Also, can you pick a game and play it, or do you have to choose?
You can, but you have to have already played it. So as
Okay,
you play like the party mode, you can once you play them, if you scroll over, I think to the right, there's an option where you can pick.
okay,
So you can definitely
okay. Yeah, I
just
was in
pick
the
and choose what you want
extras.
to play. Yeah. But yeah, I was. I guess we're talking about this now, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed. Like with the way that Nintendo announced it, didn't show off a single thing until like the week of,
Hmm.
and they dropped that really weird. Like we flew in a bunch of YouTubers and influencers out here and played it, and it's like I don't know, you can't really trust that, but yeah, I mean, as far as like the
Yeah,
presentation
like
goes, it's solid.
yeah. I think the Horseman's a little bit weird.
That is a
Uh,
weird choice. The horseman. Yeah, it's a weird. It's weird. I don't know.
yeah, just kind of surreal, I guess. But yeah, I mean the tutorials are pretty high quality. Like the game modes are.
I do wish you could skip the tutorials. Um,
Even if you've played it before,
you
you can't
can't.
skip it?
As far as I know, you can't.
That that kind of sucks.
But I mean, I don't know, for something for like either a kid or like if you had this at college, man, you rocking and rolling with that game. People have
It'd be the
coming in and
coolest
out
kid
of
in
the
the world.
room. Yeah. So I get why they do it, but yeah, it'd be nice if you could skip.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, like I
It,
said, I haven't played everything, all the mini, and I really don't know how many there are, but it feels like there's more than, um, I don't know,
didn't watch it,
the
which
yeah, than the original game. Yeah, and they do some cool things like first to three, um, loser gets to spin the wheel and pick kind of not
mhm.
really picks the next game, but they kind of choose what the next game is. If you can time it right. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think I was very impressed with this
for
game
what you were expecting.
for what I was expecting, and I think it's just a quality game. I mean, if it was like a $60 game or a $50 game, pass. But $30, I think is a solid price.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does a good job of making like a good competitive party game. Whereas once you switch, which is like here's a bunch of mini games that you
Yeah,
could use to make a competitive game night or something like that. But
yeah. But it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, well, winner stays and loser walks, and then you rotate like that. But this one, you can actually get more people involved playing at the same time. So it makes it for a more. And I wonder how having like 2 teams of 2 works as far as points go. So we'll definitely try that next week and report back to you guys.
Yeah, we'll do some heavy research next week.
get some field action going.
Well, here's some jumping back to Pikmin 4.
Yeah. Sorry.
So okay, so you rented Pikmin 1.
Yeah.
And that's really your only experience outside of like the Pikmin 3 demo.
I feel like I definitely rented Pikmin 1 and I may have rented Pikmin 2 and I'd never beat any of those. And I've played the Pikmin 3 demo and really like it, but that's really my Pikmin experience.
So how'd you feel about Pikmin 4?
I loved it. I think it visually it looks really nice. Yeah, I love just the Pikmin aesthetic, and I love the gameplay of it, you know. And it's more or less the same as what I remember, and it feels like it hasn't really changed at all. But yeah, I really like what I've played so far. By the time the demo was done, I was like, I want to keep going.
Yeah,
so I think that's a solid start for it. So
yeah, jumping from, because like I was in the middle of playing Pikmin 2 when I downloaded 4, and jumping from that to 4 is like it's like fundamentally the same game, but it feels so much better to play because I mean there's just a lot of quality of life improvements and all of the like all the upgrades you can have, like all the like kind of equipment you can unlock, and the upgrades to Ochi, and saving the castaways kind of gives you like other things to do, essentially, like the collectopedia, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm glad there's more like castaways to find that aren't like the set ones, because I think you find like 4 in that demo, and I was like, what? I felt like that would get spread across the entire game. But the fact that I think you find one that wasn't a part of the group, so there's probably gonna be a lot more than we think that we can find and add, to the what you can unlock and stuff. So yeah, there's the stuff that you mentioned, like the quality of life stuff. I mean, just the fact that like when you're building a bridge and using materials, the Pikmin will go to the ship, bring it to it, and then they'll go back if you need more. I feel like that probably wasn't the part of like the original game, and this is probably a quality of life improvement.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that's really cool, because I was just watching them work, and I saw them coming back, and I was like, okay, that's really smart that they did that. So.
Yeah, it's like a lot of that kind of stuff, and then like when you're throwing a bunch of Pikmin to pick something up, it'll pause once you've hit the amount needed.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like in other games, like you can accidentally throw 14, you need 10, and you have to call them back, or just let them run it out. But in this one, it kind of like gives a brief pause so you can kind of go somewhere else and do something, and then it'll let you know once something is done, which I think is really cool, because like if you're trying to multitask and build something over here,
there's a lot going on when you have like so many. You have the I can't remember the name of the dog thing that's doing stuff, and then you have like your other Pikmin. Like you have to, it can be a lot.
It's I mean that Dandori, man. So trying to maximize that Dandori, but this game does feel a lot easier than at least Pikmin 2, because like I'm playing through Pikmin 2 and I'll bring 100 Pikmin into underground, and
I've only lost like maybe 5 or 6 in the whole demo.
Yeah.
So it does feel way easier than I remember, but it's probably a lot. They probably made it a lot easier to start, and then as the time goes on, it'll get harder. But I really like it so far. It's really fun.
Is this a day one for you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Day one for sure.
Nice.
I mean, there's not really much coming out around that time, right? I mean, it's at the end of the July. What else is coming out? I mean, Starfield's September. I don't know. I might pick up if like, I don't know, if something goes on sale, like if a Star Wars goes on sale, I might pick that up or something like that. But because I want to play that. I want to play that before Starfield, to be honest. But I don't know. Man, there's just It's a lot of games coming out.
There's way too many.
I gotta go. Yeah, I still got a little bit of a backlog too that I gotta go through, but which I plan on playing at some point during next week. Fire Emblem I'll probably try to finish up. Yeah, I just Pikmin 4 is good. I like it so far.
It's really good. It's really like just like super high quality.
Yeah.
From what I played, and the demo's like really long too. Like it's like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
You could get a lot more out of it as well. Like you can not collect stuff and just play that entire area and 100% it if you want.
Yeah, and that's one of those games where it's like, yeah, you definitely want to like 100% all the areas, and you kind of feel bad when like the Pikmin die. Like I know they're kind of just, you know,
that screech that they give out when they die is kind of haunting.
Yeah, I don't want them to die. And the fact that you can like launch them too if you hold down the button, they'll all like everything you have will just go. I think that's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. We talked about everybody want to switch. Briefly, I jumped back into Halo for like a couple days, just to do with season 4. Cool maps. Infection was fun.
Oh yeah, I played a little bit too.
I think I might be done with Halo, to be honest.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just maybe it's not specifically Halo. I think multiplayer games just do not do it for me in the slightest anymore. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those games where I can always go back to if I want to. But like this time, I didn't even pick up the season pass.
Yeah.
But also, like I haven't played like the cool map that they showed off in season 3 with like the miniature, you know, where like in the mini. I know that's just a community map, so I don't know if that's in rotation. I don't know where to find that. I don't know, but it's still fun. Like I had a good time, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just kind of.
I had fun playing Infection, and then I just played a couple rounds of regular Slayer too, and I don't know. It's easy to jump back into because the core gameplay doesn't change. It's just really the maps and the modes.
Yeah.
So it's
maybe I was being a little harsh. Maybe I'm not done with it per se, but
headline: I am done.
I'm done. Yeah. It's like it was like a couple. I think it was like last week. One of them. I don't know, man. If I see like phase something in your game, like in your gamer tag or on Twitter, like I'm just automatically gonna ignore anything you have to say because someone posted it was like phase something. It was like,
oh yeah, what happened to gaming?
What happened to gaming? And it's like, bro, if you only play Fortnite and Call of Duty, yeah, I feel bad for you. You're gonna get jaded and you're gonna hate gaming. But if you only play multiplayer stuff or just that specific, you know, and there's nothing wrong with those games per se, but like it's okay to stop playing something for a while or you get bored with it. But there's so much stuff like that's coming out all the time between AAA stuff to indie stuff. Like, come on, don't say stuff like that.
Saying that in the middle of like the most packed year,
one of the best years we've had in a long time. You're just dumb.
It's so crazy. just say what happened to Call of Duty and move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Twitter is a thing. But whatever. Tell me about you played some Stardew.
I played a lot of Stardew. Played just an egregious amount. Because I can't remember if I jumped in by myself on my own profile because I have like 40 hours on that, or if Alicia and I jumped in together. But I think we just decided to randomly one night to play again because we made it to summer, which is the second season, and for like 3 nights in a row, we played for like 4 or 5 hours straight.
Jeez.
One night we stayed up until like 3 a.m. because like it's so easy to just do one more day.
You want
to see what all of your productivity yielded the next day, you know. And then
it's that perfect game.
It's like it's the phenomenon where you get out of bed and you're still in your house, and if you walk outside, you're going to finish that day.
Yes,
If you
exactly.
don't, you're not going to do it. But if you
Yeah.
step foot outside, you're going to finish out that entire day.
Yeah, you
And
step out and
that's like,
you see all the plants pop. Like you have to pick them, and
yeah,
you have to sell them. You have
you
to
have to water them, you have
yeah,
to sell
and then
them,
you
you
have
have
to
to
go
pick
to
them.
the dungeon and do that or whatever,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
I've
caves or
I've
whatever.
made it to the bottom level of the mines.
Yeah,
There's like
mines.
a whole other area that you can unlock after you do like the community center stuff, and there's just like 50,000 things to do,
Yeah,
and there's not enough time in the day to do them, and that's why there's tomorrow.
it's just like real life. You log off work
Yeah,
and you log into Stardew.
it really feels like that, but
It's fun.
it's
It's a
it's so fun. It's honestly so fun, and like
yeah.
the progression of upgrading all of your stuff and earning money and like finding
Yeah,
out
I need to get back
the
into
best way to save
Stardew
money.
and just start completely
Oh,
over. God.
you should, and you should start over and just go to I don't know if you went to the community center, but like there's a bunch of like goals essentially
Okay.
that you complete and you unlock
I mean, I
like
haven't played in
different
like
parts of the map.
3 years, I think. I mean, I played it. I
Mhm.
played it a lot when it first launched on Switch because that was like one of the last platforms it came out on. I think it was the
Yeah,
last. Um, yeah, God, it's so good. Ugh.
it's I love it. I really love it.
It
Now
was
now
and
I'm
see
trying
like
to.
Harvest Moon 64 is like one of my just all time. Well, it's not my top 25, but you know, it's one of those games. Um,
Yeah.
that's just super fun. But
Did Hearthstone 64, is that on NSO?
no, it's not. There is a Harvest Moon game on there. I think it's the NES version.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I would
yeah.
definitely recommend it. It's great. It's really great for co-op. My only qualm with co-op versus solo play is when you pause the game or when you go into your inventory or do any management of your chests or anything in solo,
Yeah.
the game will pause. The time will pause.
Okay.
But if you're split screen and let's say one person is in the mines and the other person is just pausing and going through their inventory and arranging things, the time keeps going.
Okay.
So no matter what you're doing, the time is
So
progressing.
just one of those things you got to keep track of. What if you
Yeah,
both
yeah.
pause? Will it pause then?
I think it still keeps going
Wow.
because
Okay.
yeah, we tried it and yeah, it's still progressing because
Doing the
we were like, okay,
research, Nick. All right.
we were like, okay, we need to talk and have a little debrief about what we're gonna do, and then when we just saw the clock going and going, we're like, all right, let's just go.
Let's just go.
But yeah, I've been you know like looking up like what is the best crop to plant in the summer to yield the most profits. Like I'm
On
a
a
little
side
bit
note, I think it really irks me when games don't allow you to pause. I'm just thinking about flashbacks to like Dark Souls and stuff. It's like, come on, why
in
can't I
Elden
just
Ring
pause this
too.
game? Like, please. It's like, yes, it's
Just one
technically
glance.
connected online, technically, but come on, man. We
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that's I will never advocate for a game that doesn't pause.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, if you hit the Xbox home screen, oh, technically, it's like, but I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
Um, let's switch over real quick. Take a quick break. I'll talk about some Bramble, the Mountain King,
All right.
and then we'll move on to the news.
Cool. We'll be right back.
All right, and we are back. Nick, before I start talking about Bramble, did you have anything else you played, or any last thoughts on anything?
No, everyone just go play the Pikmin 4 demo,
Yeah, super good,
please.
super good.
So good.
Um, do you think that game's gonna be like it's probably gonna be the best selling Pikmin game, right? It's got to be. I mean, it's the Switch effect, right?
Yeah, I have to imagine because I don't know what the best selling Pikmin game is, but
A couple million, I would imagine.
what is it?
It's got to be
I
a
don't think
couple
it's better
million
than
for them to
Metroid.
have four. It's got to at least sell decently well. I'm sure. I'm sure Pikmin 3 Deluxe is probably the best selling Pikmin game, I imagine.
Hmm.
I don't know.
It is. It is.
Okay. Okay. I predict this will be like. I think it's gonna do pretty well, like 4 to 5.
I think 4 to 5.
I think so.
Like
I think it
lifetime,
will.
though,
Like
right?
like a lifetime, yeah.
Okay, Pikmin 3 sold 2.23.
Oh yeah, then easily 4 to 5.
Okay. I mean, they
I think
yeah,
so.
all of them have sold above 1 million,
Okay.
which is pretty. Except for Hey Pikmin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
They
no,
keep
we don't talk
trying to promote that Pikmin whatever
Pikmin
Go
Bloom.
Pikmin Bloom. I don't know. And with the whole I mean Pokemon Go, well, it's the same developer Niantic. I think they're cutting like 200 jobs for Pokemon Go teams, so that's not a great sign. But
Yeah, I mean,
I
look,
think they took on way too much stuff because they had the Harry Potter thing. They had like a basketball game, like an NBA thing that was kind of weird.
didn't they have a Witcher game?
No, they didn't have a Witcher. It was Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Okay.
Yeah, they had Harry Potter, which I don't think is still active anymore. I don't know. Anyways, Bramble the Mountain King. They just got added to Game Pass like last week. So very excited that I waited because this is one of those games where I saw it and I was pretty curious about it. But it's very much in line with Little Nightmares 1 and 2, that franchise.
Okay.
Very much in line with that. So if you like those games, you're gonna like this one. A little bit of a different aesthetic. It's brighter than, like, not as tonally dark, and also it like the graphics are just brighter in general. But it takes place in like the kind of like the Nordic folklore.
Okay.
Like you start out as like as a son and or a brother and sister, and you pick up like this fairy tale book, and it talks about the mountain, the Mountain King, whatever, and then your sister goes missing, and you find her, and then you find her like at the top of this cliff, and like there's like this weird glowing orb that you guys are messing around with, like playing catch with, and then you fall off like the cliff, and you run into like these really cute like little gnomes that are kind of like the ones from Little Nightmares.
Okay.
And they're but all of a sudden you're kind of in like this miniature world. Like you're not much bigger than these gnomes are, but there's stuff that's kind of larger than life than you are. And then you very quickly run into these really creepy, like, I want to say like dark elves maybe. There's a section where you go through like this butcher almost. He's cutting up people, and you're walking through like all the goop and body parts and stuff. And there's one part where I think it's shown off in the trailer, but you're going over this pond and like jumping across these lily pads, and all of a sudden this giant head comes out of the water and is following you. I'm a few hours in. Puzzles are very, very light, but a lot like Little Nightmares again to compare it to. And it's really just you're just kind of running and going, and that's again it's Little Nightmares just with with a different skin, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's quite good so far. I don't know how long it is. I'd imagine it's probably a few hours, 4 to 5 hours, but it's good. I like it so far. Yeah, again, Little Nightmares. If you like Little Nightmares and that vibe, you're gonna like this game.
Yeah, and like I don't
and it's on Game Pass.
I don't think Bramble like reviewed super well, but I don't remember Little Nightmares 2 getting rave reviews.
No, I think they were both in like the 70s, maybe. Maybe Little Nightmares 2 was in like the low 80s.
Because that one was really good.
It was.
I really enjoyed.
Yeah, but so far, there's no combat or anything that I've seen yet. So it's really just kind of running around, like running as fast as you can. The game allows you to get away from these creatures, but yeah, I like it. I like it so far.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. And that's it. That's what I've been playing.
All right.
It's a lot more than usual with Zelda. Now that we're done with Zelda, but it's been fun. Nick, you have to play at the beach. You have to play Dredge. You have to start it up.
It's also the perfect time to play it too,
because we're on the beach.
Yeah. Okay, that is a promise I will make to you.
You have to play that. If you play a couple hours, and if you're not vibing with it, then that's fine. But
the thing is, I was vibing with it.
Okay.
But
Well,
then,
you played the demo, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's so good, man. God, that game is fantastic.
Yeah, okay. After I finished Pikmin 2,
It's a
which was
lot like
very
Stardew
soon,
Valley, where you start off with the very basics, and then once you
then
get like these upgrades, it feels really good, and it's like, yeah, I've done the thing, and now it's much easier to do the task.
streamlined
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, that's so satisfying.
yeah. Like it's like what Stardew has like sprinkler systems and stuff, right? Where you can,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, come on. All right, well let's dive into just not much stuff going on this week. Still coming out of the Summer Games Fest, but we did have a direct, Nick, a couple weeks ago, which we absolutely nailed. Nobody else on the internet was saying there was one except for us. We had the
Yeah, I think it was
Nintengle,
just us.
but we haven't really talked about it since it got announced or since the viewing. But how did you like it? Like if you could scale it like A to F, how would you say it was?
I would give it a B plus.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty exceptional. I thought it had a lot of really good surprises
yeah.
between, well, a lot of good like Mario related surprises.
If you're not a Mario fan, this was not the direct for you.
Yeah.
That being said, but yeah, I thought it was pretty quality. I thought a B plus is right where I'd expect it to be. I wanted to see a 3D Mario, but at this point, that's gonna be like a launch title for the next
Yeah.
thing.
I was expecting a 2D Mario just because of like all the rumors and leaks we've seen, but
And Wonder looks really cool.
it looks really, really cool. I love the art style. I love the expressiveness of
Yes.
all the characters. Like that's such a step up.
I don't remember. I mean, you were definitely more of playing the Wii and like the 3DS than I did. Did you play New Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2 and like that whole thing?
Yeah, I definitely played the first one on the
Okay.
DS. I
Do
don't know
you,
if
do
I
you
played the
remember it
second one.
fondly? I mean, I'm sure you had a good. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
Mario game.
I remember having a lot of fun with it,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think it was like pretty standard Mario levels in
Yeah.
comparison with previous entries in the franchise. And I played the Wii one a little bit, and
I just
played the
got
Wii
a lot.
one
Like I never. I think I maybe have played your copy, but I never had it for myself. And I guess after Wonder got announced, there's a lot of discourse about new Super Mario Brothers where I didn't think that there was. Maybe it was just a lot of the same thing, and they weren't really innovating it at all. Is what I hear, but I don't have a lot of memories of that game in particular.
Yeah, the main problem is the art style didn't change between, the first new Super Mario Brothers in 2005 or whatever, 2006, and then they just had so many releases between the
Yeah.
Wii, the DS, I don't know if the 3DS got one, but between the DS, the Wii, the Wii U, like
Yeah.
there were so many back to back to back, and it was all the same art style, and it just didn't feel like super fresh.
Yeah.
And then after Super Mario Maker came out, people were like, okay, well, what are you going to do next? Like, what is going to be like the next iteration? And then being Nintendo, released Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the Switch. It's like, really, it's like the same thing again.
I feel like the DS, between the DS, the Wii, and the Wii U, there was a lot of super, like almost too similar stuff that they were putting out. Like it was just kind of refreshes of the new Super Mario Bros. Game.
Yeah, especially the Wii and the DS.
Yeah,
it was very.
I'm surprised it took this long for us to get a new 2D Mario game,
like a new one. Sell really well too.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Like I think the funny thing about it is like he's been eating these mushrooms the entire time, and it finally feels like he's on that psychedelic trip that you think he would be on from eating all these things. But yeah, I love the art style. I love the aesthetic of it. The Elephant Mario is super weird, and I feel like each character is gonna have like a different power up that's kind of similar to what Mario has, from what I've gathered.
Like a different animal. Almost.
Yeah, something like that. But it looks really
That'd be
cool,
cool.
and it's
Yeah.
co-op, which is awesome. Yeah, for sure a day one for me. And this comes out in
Mhm.
October, right?
Yeah, this is October.
Okay,
A very packed
same day as
October.
Spider-Man, right? I think
Yep,
I think
I would
so.
definitely pick this one up over Spider-Man. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I do want to play Spider-Man, and I feel like I'm
Mhm.
always dogging on PlayStation. I don't mean to, but I don't know. I'm not sold on a PS5 yet. I'm still waiting for the iteration. Once they do the iteration, I'll pick one up. But
Cool. Mid-gen refresh.
yeah. But yeah, we got the announcement of Wonder. We finally got the Super RPG, the Mario RPG announcement, which I never played this game, so I have no nostalgia over this, but it looks really cool.
It looks really great, and I've heard it's one of the best RPGs. I don't know if that's nostalgia
Yeah.
talking or what, but I'm
I mean,
excited.
it gives me
excited
like
to-
very. I mean, obviously it's different graphical styles, but it gives me very early. Like it gives me Paper Mario vibes, like how
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like a turn-based kind of thing, which is what I want from Paper Mario. Like I would love a new Paper Mario with the old combat system. Like
I know.
I liked oh gosh, what was the new Paper Mario game?
Origami King.
I liked that game, but that wheel system just got very. I was so
got very
over it by
tired.
the end.
Yeah.
I feel it just added too much to it. Where I just would like that traditional like RPG turn-based style. Again, I would love a 1,000 Year Door remake. But Mario RPG looks awesome.
It looks really great. I'm really excited to play it. It's gonna be a day one.
Yes,
A
yeah,
lot of like, and that's what I liked about this direct. It's like it's a lot of stuff that's coming out this year,
yeah,
which
absolutely.
is really great. Like, and of course, like WarioWare is coming too. I'm not a huge WarioWare guy, but apparently this one's more reminiscent.
This one looks kind of fun though.
Yeah, it's got the motion controls.
And I haven't played WarioWare in a while, but the one that you and I played on the Wii back in the day
fun.
was really fun with like the nose picking game and stuff. Like,
And this one looks
Yeah.
kind of like that one, so
it does, yeah,
might have to pick it up.
yeah, and the fact that I know Kellen's gonna love it, so it's like
Oh yeah,
for me,
yeah.
it's like it's kind of a no brainer with these kind of like not so. I'm not gonna say not so great multiplayer games, but for someone who, if they don't have kids or if they don't have a partner or something like that, like obviously probably not worth it to pick it up. But yeah, when you have kids and stuff, for sure.
Yeah. Princess Peach is getting a dedicated game coming in
Peaches.
2024. Peaches, man, Peaches.
Did you watch the Jack Black like 10-year?
Oh, of course.
Oh, that was so good, dude. Dude, Jack Black, he's just hamming it up, man. He's
a national treasure, dude.
He is,
he's living his
God.
best life.
I love him so much. Gosh,
He was born to play this role, and I think he knows it too.
Oh yeah,
He's embracing it.
he loves it. But yeah, the Peaches game. I mean, they showed a very like not a lot about that game, and I don't think they even gave a name, right?
No, but it almost looks like a stage play.
It does.
Or I think it is a stage play.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of revolve around that theme a little bit,
which is
but it
cool.
looks cool. Yeah, and then Dark Moon.
Dark
Luigi's
Moon.
Dark Moon is getting a remaster. Weirdly,
At first glance, you're like, yeah, this doesn't look as good as 3 does, but then if you compare screenshots and stuff to the original Dark Moon game, it's like way better.
Yeah.
I hope it has co-op. It probably won't, just because that game didn't have co-op or anything. It did have like the multiplayer thing, I think. But just the fact that I like Luigi's Mansion 3 was so special.
Yeah, did you guys finish that one?
We did, yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we 100%ed it for the most part.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we love that. Brittany loved that game. She
I
even
hope
went back
I
and
hope it's
started
cool.
it with Kellen, because he loves it too.
Nice.
Kind of weird that we're not getting like the original Luigi's Mansion game.
That one came out on 3DS. It's like it got that remaster already.
Yeah, but we could use it again on the Switch, and that one was such a special game too. Because that game back in the day for me at least was like genuinely creepy. It had some creepy moments in that game.
The lady in the shower.
Lady in the shower and like the ghost and like the gym and stuff. Like it was a creepy game for its time.
It really was.
What else? I mean, we got like the Bat and Kaido's stream announcement from Monolith Soft back in the day. Those 2 GameCube games.
Yeah, when are those coming out?
I think this year, right? Like in
Okay.
September, maybe. It could be wrong. It might be July, actually. It might be really soon.
Did those get showcased in the?
They did,
direct?
yeah. They got a quick trailer.
Okay.
But it's Bat and Kaidos 1 and 2. I think it's like a card-based RPG. So
Yeah.
pretty
yeah.
different from what the Monolith Soft we know now. But I mean, what else? We got like the Metal Gear Solid collection coming to the Switch.
Yeah, we got Vampire Survivors, which I'm very excited for.
Yes. Is that going to be free to play or is it going to be paid?
It's going to be $5. So you need to pick up.
Yeah, I do need to play it. I know it's on
really
Game Pass,
incredible.
but it feels like the perfect Switch game.
Yeah, that's why like I didn't play it as much as I wanted to on the Xbox, just because I wanted to wait. And this one's co-op too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I don't know how it's going to run because you have like 1,000 things on screen.
Yeah,
at once,
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
We did get some Zelda stuff. We got the 2 amiibos, which look fantastic. My theory is that in September we're gonna get a DLC announcement and they'll launch with these amiibo. Because they said it's not coming until holiday, right? They didn't give a firm release date for the amiibo.
Yeah, they didn't give a date.
That's my theory. Because it's kind of weird that they wouldn't just launch it with the game, but maybe they're just kind of stagnating, or trying to prolong the hypeness of Zelda. So I think that's smart. They announced the amiibo, come out holiday in September. Hey, here's the new DLC for the game, or part 1 of part 4, wave of DLC, and go from there. I think that's my theory, but I'm excited to get more amiibos just because
it was weird that we got one.
It was weird
so
because
for Breath of the Wild.
I mean there was a Bokoblin amiibo, for God's sake, for Breath of the Wild. So I mean there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because there was the 4 champions. There was
Link and Link on a horse.
Link with the arrow. Link with the horse. There was the Zelda amiibo. Then there was the Guardian, the Bokoblin. So 9 total.
And then we have the 1.
And then we have the 1, which is it's my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite like Zelda amiibos because it's really cool looking.
That was amazing.
It's weird that we didn't get any more than that. So I'm glad they're doing more.
They're scheming. They're scheming something up.
Yeah, they've been. I don't know. I felt like their marketing started after the game came out. Like they started posting a ton of stuff, but the game's sold like over 10 million now. Like it's crazy.
I mean that was within 3 days.
That was within 3 days, and it dropped down. I think for the first time, like after Final Fantasy 16 released, and then I think it's back up to like number 1 again. So
yeah. It's killing it. People.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's going to outsell Breath of the Wild long term.
Yeah, I think it'll do 25 million by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's.
Plus word of mouth too. Like, it's just one of those games where you want to be part of. I mean, I would say the zeitgeist is kind of over at this point, but
still want to.
It's
understand what everyone's talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. If you miss Breath, if you miss Breath of the Wild, it's like you don't even need to play it. Just go on YouTube, get a overview of the story, because there's not much in Breath of the Wild, and then dive into tears. What else? Was there anything else, Nick, that
there was a really bad Pokemon Detective Pikachu trailer.
Yeah, God, dude.
But
I feel kind of bad talking about it, but I did post a clip of my reaction of that. I think it was my reaction. And someone commented like 400-page essay of how, Pokemon is for kids, and like the art style doesn't matter, graphics don't matter, gameplay and performance doesn't matter, and this and this and this and that. And yeah, Nintendo is like my favorite game maker, and their graphics aren't hyper realistic and realistic, but their art style is what always sells me. And I think their games look look beautiful. Like Tears of the Kingdom looks amazing. Yeah, does it have some performance issues? Absolutely. You know, Mario Odyssey, I think it looks incredible. Is it hyper realistic like Call of Duty? No, it's not. But Pokemon looks like trash. It looks so bad. It does.
Yeah, it looks
and
washed out.
it looks bad. And I'm talking about Scarlet Violet here, but it looks bad. It performs bad. And we've been given this pass since I would say really since like the 3DS era. I've
like
never
Sun and Moon.
I never
X
really
and Y.
loved the jump to like the kind of 3D 2D thing that they had going on, and then once we got to the Switch, it just started looking worse and
Got
worse.
Yeah.
And with Detective Pikachu, you know, it's like I saw someone comment on like the trailer. I think it might have been on TikTok, but they were like, they do realize that they don't have to use like the Scarlet and Violet engine or whatever. They can make a good looking Pokemon game. That's what I told the guy. I was like, I get that, but this is like one of the biggest video game companies out there. And yes, I understand that they have a very limited time to make these games because they have to put out the anime, they have to put out the cards, but maybe you give the team like one more year to polish things and you can have a really good looking game. Not like gorgeous or anything like that, but like just like good looking.
But like a game that runs well and looks okay. Like just bring in Monolith Soft. Bring in some of the Zelda team to help out.
Yeah.
It's like Game Freak, I'm sorry. Game Freak is not a great developer. They had a really good franchise and a really great premise. Or they worked with a really good premise, and that's why everything took off.
Yeah.
Game-wise, but yeah, they have.
I want them to go back. Honestly, I want them to go back to the like pixel art style. Those
we
games
need
are
an HD,
so good.
An HD2D.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be
Like
awesome.
Pokemon Red HD2D would be
dude,
phenomenal.
That would be an absolute day one for me.
Yeah,
nostalgia wise, of course, but yeah,
and just
Pokemon Red
or
like an HD 2D of Gold and Silver, which I think I might like a little bit better than the original.
Yeah, I think it is. It's kind of objectively
yeah, that's
better.
Nick. You're onto something right there.
There we go.
So yeah, it looked bad. Like even like in the like you could see the jagged lines of like of Pikachu and the environment. And again, I don't want to gripe on something, but when the company makes so much money, it's like, come on, we expect a little bit more than this, and it's going to be a $60 game, so it's like, come on.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
But that comes out this year. It comes out, I think, in October as well. So it's pretty soon.
6th.
Yeah, October 6th. So coming up really soon. Is that
Anything
it?
else?
I don't remember. They showed off the Pokemon DLC, which it's like they promised a performance patch for this game, and they never have put it out. They haven't put it out yet. So it's like, come on, man! Like, what are y'all doing over there? Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm
not trying to be a hater, but God, come on. Pokemon.
Yeah. Like what's going on here?
I think that's kind of it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There might have been some other like stuff we missed, but that was kind of the big stuff. Nick, talk to me about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so hit 3 million sales, 3 million copies shipped and sold digitally.
Yeah.
In 1 week, which I mean that's pretty good. It's definitely less than like all the recent Final Fantasy games, like especially 15, 13, 12.
Which I mean, it's exclusive.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it, and I think this one doesn't have as much of a grasp on the Japanese market as
because it's not
15 did.
It's not a JRPG. It's from what I've seen, it's kind of barely an RPG at all. It's just more of a kind of
that's what people are saying.
Devil May Cry. I mean, and that's fine, but
it's like a mostly linear action game from what I've seen, and like I don't know, like I played the demo and I thought the demo was amazing and I thought the story was really cool, but after seeing people's impressions of it and seeing some reviews, I was like, I don't know if I want to play a game like this at this moment.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame because like I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, Final Fantasy X is my favorite of all time. Like, out of all these, and I haven't really played a ton of Final Fantasy, to be honest. I played, I've played a lot of 9, which I really like. I never played 7. I played Final Fantasy 13 a bit. I never finished it. But that was one of those games where it's like it gets really good after 30 hours. I'm like, I'm not putting 30 hours into a game for it to get good. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit of like Final Fantasy 11, like the MMO or whatever, which was fine. I'm not a big MMO World of Warcraft guy. So and I didn't play Final Fantasy 15, which a lot of people do like, and you like that a lot.
Really good. Yeah.
I was intrigued with 16, and I do want to play it eventually because it sounds really cool. Like the story sounds awesome, but yeah, from just the stuff I've heard, and then just it being a PlayStation exclusive, and it's got like that kind of like umbrella over it, and I don't know, man. It's just I've severely cut down my like viewage of Twitter in the last couple of days, and I'm not someone that's gonna look at 600 different tweets a day. So these people that are like losing their minds over not seeing 1,000 tweets, I like
maybe
touch a little, just touch a little bit of grass. and that's funny because there's been like people commenting and stuff, like just dumb stuff, and I'll just put the GIF on Twitter, just like someone touching grass, and then that's it. I never respond again. So anyway, that's another point. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like I think the game's probably really great, but then people are like, "This is the greatest game of all time." It's like, no, it's not. It's probably not the greatest game of all time. Is it better than Zelda? It's probably not, but that's fine. It's okay. It doesn't have to be better than Zelda. Is it going to win Game of the Year? It's probably not, and that's going to be okay too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just because it's a PlayStation exclusive doesn't mean it's got to be this genre-defining, sales-defining kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's kind of the problem. Like, it's okay for it to just be a fun game and not be the best.
Yeah.
The best in its craft. And like, yeah, that's kind of my gripe with PlayStation right now is like they're only making these like epic third-person adventures that are kind of like Game of the Year bait a little bit.
Yeah.
And I guess you could call Tears of the Kingdom that as well, since it's a third-person action adventure game. But I don't know, like you see a PlayStation exclusive, and you know it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
And like it's felt like that for the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and that's kind of going off topic a little bit from Final Fantasy, but I mean with really talk about the FTC stuff, but it came out that like Horizon and Last of Us are costing like $200-300 million, which I think PlayStation is kind of lying a little bit. I think it's costing more than that, to be honest.
Well, with marketing, it costs more.
With marketing. So it's like they didn't really tell us that. It's like, okay, did it cost that much to make, or was that a combination of marketing? But I think that's how much it cost to make, and then they're not including marketing into that that budget.
I think they stated that.
Did they state that? Okay, I might have missed that.
Include marketing.
So I think that's why PlayStation came out and said, hey, we're going to dive into these free to play games, these live service games, because I don't think that you can't have every single one of your single player third person games costing $400 million to make. That's just not sustainable.
Not sustainable.
And that's what we talked about a month ago.
I mean, look at Nintendo. Like they make budget titles like Everybody Went to Switch. They make games that are probably a little bit lower budget, like Pikmin 4, and then they have their Tears of the Kingdom, and they have.
But those games sell like Luigi's Mansion. Like it probably didn't cost that much to make, and it sold over 10 million. Like it sold as well as Last of Us did, which is crazy. Last of Us 2.
Ring Fit sold 15 million. Yeah, I can't believe Luigi's Mansion sold more than Last of Us, but like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe sold something like 15 million.
So and that's just Nintendo's aesthetic. They can make these really fun playing games, and I'm not saying that the Last of Us stuff isn't fun to play, but yeah, it's just.
And yeah, maybe they're not the best games, and maybe they're not going to win Game of the Year, but
it's okay. It doesn't have to.
It's okay. Yeah, so
Dog out.
it just feels like there's always so much riding on PlayStation games, and there's so much pressure from the fans that they kind of oversell things a little bit,
Yeah.
and it makes it hard to know what's genuine excitement and what is I need to be excited for this because this should be a genre defining game, something like that.
Yeah. And I think this, for me, in the last couple of years, it just really boils down to, I think the fan base of PlayStation is so toxic. Just across the industry, they're horrible. And I'm sorry if you're a hardcore PlayStation fan, I probably already pissed you off in the past for my statements, but I think they're just very toxic for across the board. It's just it's not a fun conversation to have with those people. Because like you said, everything has to be this AAA, like massive selling, super hype game. And if you do one little small critique about the game, it's like up in arms. Right. It's just exhausting. So annoying.
It really is.
It's so annoying. Like it's okay that like I think Tears of the Kingdom is probably gonna be game of the year. Yeah, Starfield maybe. Starfield looks like it's gonna be like again a once in a generation kind of game if everything comes together as it should. But we don't know yet because it's Xbox and Xbox has let us down a lot in the last 3 years, and it's Bethesda and those games are notoriously janky. And I don't think this game can come out and be janky as Skyrim was and not make a lot of people mad.
For it. Yeah.
But I still think it's going to sell well, even being on Game Pass. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I do want to play Final Fantasy 16. It looks incredible. I've heard the story looks cool. The gameplay's fun. I've heard it's a little bit easy than a lot of people want. But that being said, like it doesn't need to be anything more than it should.
Yeah. Great.
All right. Let's get off that. FTC, let's get back to it.
And then back to the same thing.
We could briefly talk about it.
Yeah,
just like 5 days of just
stuff,
learning, man. Learning stuff.
Sharpie's not working how they're supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it or like really. I don't think you can watch it, but I didn't listen to it. I just kind of saw like the basic stuff coming out of it. But it feels like the people that were interviewing Phil Spencer and the Xbox crowd were just kind of running in circles about, Call of Duty and is it being, is it going to be multi-platform or is it going to, become exclusive and this and that? And I think even the judge was kind of like, all right, we gotta move on. Yeah,
the judge was kind of not against the FTC, but could see that the FTC was really not getting to the point or making a case against Xbox owning Call of Duty or owning Activision.
Exactly.
And subsequently owning Call of Duty. But yeah, like a lot of emails came out between Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan and, emails on the Xbox side as well, talking about running PlayStation out of business and,
buying PlayStation and stuff like that from Matt Booty. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like, again, I'm dogging on PlayStation again, but it's one of those things where they love their exclusives, but when Xbox is an exclusive, all of a sudden it's an issue. So it's like you can't have it, but you can't have it both ways.
Have your exclusive content and then make Xbox promise that they're not going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
if they have Call of Duty.
Yeah, and then what Phil came out and said that the new Indiana Jones games was going to be exclusive, and they were bringing up that, and he's like, well, here's Spider-Man. What's up with Spider-Man? Like, they got not their IP and got that exclusive to their platform. And he's like, so what's the difference? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, like I guess granted, Insomniac is a part of PlayStation, but so is Machine Games. They're the ones that is making.
Yeah, they're owned by Xbox, but they're licensing, the IP for.
Right. Okay, it's the same situation.
Same situation
that way.
So it's like, come on, it's like, where do you draw the line with this stuff?
Right. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. I'm ready for it to all be over one way
Yeah.
or another. I don't really care at this point, but
To me, I feel like it's going to go through. I just don't see the FTC making like a counterpoint of why it shouldn't happen. But it may not, and if it doesn't, whatever. I think Xbox is going to still have to pay $3 billion to Activision, in fees. I think that was
Yeah.
like kind of like the agreement. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm like you. I just wanted to be over and done with. What I don't really care. Like I don't like Call of Duty wise. Like I don't care about Call of Duty at all. But
yeah, it's just going to benefit me because more games are going to come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Diablo 4 is going to come to Game Pass. You know, a bunch of other games, and that'll be awesome. But I'm just ready for it to be over. I'm ready for
Yeah.
all the Twitter discourse to be done.
I think with PlayStation 2 is they're probably their big issue is if Call of Duty, if they do acquire Activision Blizzard, you know, Call of Duty will obviously, because you know Phil swore under oath that you know it will stay multi-platform. I think if they do acquire it, I think they're scared that they will lose PS memberships because people will jump ship to Xbox or maybe jump ship to PC and say, hey, well, it's on Game Pass on PC. Let me do that, and then I just have no reason to keep my PlayStation subscription. So they may lose, you know, a couple million, you know, subs, and that could be pretty damaging. So that's I think they're probably thinking about that too. But
yeah, you have to look at how many players just play Call of Duty.
Yeah, which is probably a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people do play on PlayStation. So
yeah,
I mean, I get it, but gosh,
we'll see over the next week. But
yeah. When is the trial? I mean, I know it's over. When is like the verdict? Do we have an exact date?
Yeah.
And I feel like if they deny it or whatever, I don't think Xbox is going to appeal it. I think they're just going to let it lie.
Yeah,
It's not worth it. I don't think. All right, I think that is going to wrap up the show this week. I promise we're not so doggish on PlayStation, but I mean, it's just
it's been a rough.
It has. The console war thing is just ridiculous right now. You know, and I try to be honest about my feelings. I'm not one side or the other. You know, I don't have a PlayStation 5, and I'm very aware, and I make that very aware. But, you know, I try to be honest. You know, I play everything. So, yeah. Tears of the Kingdom, Game of the Year, whatever.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't even matter. Xbox or PlayStation doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
Nintendo.
Will be Game of the Year. But yeah, we appreciate everyone that has been listening. Again, we'll probably be off next week, but we'll come around the following week with a big Zelda blowout extravaganza event. So look forward to that. Hopefully you guys have been it by now. If you guys can leave us a review on Apple Podcast or any software or any podcasting platform where you can, that would be great. And Nick, where can they follow us on our social stuff?
Follow us on Twitter at GamingWTBros. Follow us on TikTok at Gaming with the Broscast. And if you want to email us any questions, you can do so at gamingwiththebros@yahoo.com. Try to speed through it because we have less than a minute here.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Harrison, I will see you next week.
Adios.
Hey, bro.
Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll let YouTube algorithm pick one of my videos below for you guys to watch. Give it a click, and I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.